Cloud Imperial Games has introduced brand new component systems for Star Citizen, flight blades, and also bombing racks. And yes, you've guessed it, they are being sold for real money. These are not just cosmetic upgrades, they are performance tuning tools that can modify how your ship flies. Specifically, they alter top speed or maneuverability and also allow ships to just drop bombs, depending on the type of blade that you install. The idea, according to CIG, is not to offer straight upgrades, but to enable horizontal progression. You get in one area and you sacrifice in another, so it's like a tuning tool. That's the marketing pitch, but in reality, well, it's more complicated. Let's talk about the blade first, and currently, 2 blade types are available, top speed balanced and precision handling balanced. The first gives you a higher top speed at the cost of responsiveness. The second improves maneuverability while reducing max velocity. These are available right now for a selection of ships including the Gladius, the Arrow, the Redeemer, the Scorpius, and the Adventure series, as well as the MPUV. More ships will be added eventually over time. There is a little catch, however. These blades are actually specific to their ships. That means that, for example, a blade that you would buy for an Arrow can only be equipped on an Arrow, and a blade that you would buy on a Gladius can only be equipped on a Gladius. So it's explicitly supported here, and that means that these mods are not universal. They are targeted ship-specific tools, and right now only accessible through the Pledge store. So that brings us to the issue here. These are not just early access items. These are performance-altering components that will be sold for in-game currency eventually, but not yet. We're going to have to wait for 3 months. CIG says that they will appear in shops this summer, they said, but until then, they are paywalled. In other words, if you want a faster Gladius or a tighter turning Arrow, well, that means that you are going to have to open your wallet. And that is a new precedent here for Star Citizen. Now, let's be clear, this isn't raw pay to win. You're not buying more DPS or better shield. You're choosing trade-offs, so more speed but less control, more agility but a lower max velocity. So in skill hands, however, it matters. For competitive players, racers, bounty hunters, dogfighters, such a small difference can actually make a big difference. So that's why I think that's actually quite of a big deal here. That's not a theory, it's a fact. That is how Star Citizen works today. A small advantage in the hands of a skilled player can make a huge difference. And giving those players early access to these tools through cash purchases creates an imbalance, even if it is temporary. Worse still, these are not the only components being introduced this way. Alongside Flyblade, CIG are also launching bombing racks, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. New external components that will allow certain ships to drop bombs, even if they were not designed in that role originally. These are also locked behind pledge purchases for now. The direction is clear. We're entering a phase where modular gameplay additions are monetized first and released later in game, and that is a significant shift. Now, is it a good shift or a bad shift? People were calling for a very long time to move away from ships being sold on the store to perhaps more cosmetics, but this is not cosmetics. These are actually gameplay altering additions. Now, let's not kid ourselves. Flight blades and bombing racks are just the beginning, I think. AI blades are on the horizons, especially for NPC turrets, but also point defense, automatic flight systems. All of that is eventually coming. The question is whether those two will be monetized first. And if the answer is yes, then Star Citizen's famously non-pay-to-win model begins to erode. Not with a bang, but with a slow, creeping series of purchases that offer power, even if it's disguised as a choice. So, where does this leave us? Well, with a clear warning, I think. Star Citizen's economy and balance depend on parity between players, between those who pledge and those who play. Selling gameplay-affecting modules before they are earnable in games tilts that balance. Even if these components are eventually available for Alpha UEC, the advantage for cash players during the exclusive window is real. And in a game that prides itself on immersion and simulation, I think that this is a dangerous path. Anyway, guys, if you found this breakdown useful, then don't forget to consider giving this video a like. Subscribe to the channel for more Star Citizen videos. Also, we have a giveaway this month. I'm giving away a Mist Fortune, so don't forget to subscribe and like. Entries are input to the Wheel of Names, automatic entries for Patreon and YouTube members. So if you want to support the channel, well, that's also much appreciated, and that's one way to reward you guys. Guys, big shout out to Dr. Fabeto Carter, Zero Crusher, The Key to Docker, and Shadow Rise. I have been Iran. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Next thing I knew more cash per hour when I dedicate my skills. Next thing I know,